Hello and welcome to Wednesday Debate Live with Taghreed Hussein here on Nile TV International. Tonight we'll be talking more about the new global chessboard that is actually taking place, the great power rivalry that we are witnessing, the race between escalation and diplomacy. Well, the Iran war is no longer today a confined regional confrontation, but it has really evolved into a multi-dimensional geopolitical chessboard where we find the missiles, the oil routes, diplomacy, and also public messaging are all intertwined, also with great power competition are intersecting in real time. From the Strait of Hormuz to Washington to Beijing to Tel Aviv and Cairo, every move is now carrying definitely some implications, which is far beyond the battlefield. Energy security is also trembling, and inflation is deepening, even inside Israel. Global supply chains are reacting nervously, and also the diplomatic back channels intensifying as Egypt and the other regional powers are also attempting in order to prevent the wider scale of chaos and a wider scale of conflict. At the backdrop of this volatile scene today, in the recognition of the Egyptian pivotal leadership in reinforcing Arab stability, the Council of the Arab Interior Ministers had awarded His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi the Prince Nayef Medal for Arab Security. The honor is reflecting broad Arab appreciation for Egypt's successes in safeguarding institutions and also strengthening collective security in the region and advancing regional stability through the power of diplomacy. Well, actually, many questions arise today. Can diplomacy prevail amid this sense of escalation that the world is witnessing today? And through this unpredictable sense of war, how can the role of diplomacy contain the situation? Who is truly holding leverage in this Iran war? And actually the defining question, which is no longer who fires next, but actually who controls the whole pace of escalation, and whether diplomacy can outrun the war or not. Many questions, and I'm having all the honor and pleasure to have with us our distinctive guest, His Excellency Ambassador Medhat al-Miligi, who is the former assistant to the Foreign Minister. Your Excellency, thank you so much for coming to the debate live.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And before delving into answering this question and that debate, let's have a look at the top stories for today. In a powerful reflection of Egypt's central role in safeguarding Arab stability, the Council of Arab Interior Ministers awarded President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi the Prince Nayef Medal for Arab Security. And this is the highest Arab security decoration that was during its April 1st session. The distinction recognizes Egypt's pivotal achievements under President al-Sisi in reinforcing regional stability, confronting cross-border threats, and advancing collective Arab security coordination. It also underscores Cairo's enduring weight as a pillar of balance, resilience, and strategic foresight in a turbulent region. The honor stands as a wider Arab acknowledgement of Egypt's successful model in preserving state institutions and protecting the security of the Arab nation. And in a powerful reflection of Egypt's pivotal diplomatic role, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held a strategic phone call with the Iraqi Prime Minister, underscoring the urgent need for coordinated regional and international efforts to halt escalation in the Middle East and contain the repercussions of the ongoing war. The President reaffirmed Egypt's unwavering support for Iraq's sovereignty, stability, and protection from regional spillovers, while stressing Cairo's principled rejection of any violation of Arab states' territorial integrity. The call once again highlights Egypt's success in positioning itself as a cornerstone of Arab stability, proactive diplomacy, and collective security coordination in one of the region's most critical moments. And reading more highlights, we're really honored to have with us His Excellency Ambassador Dr. Mohamed Hegazy, former assistant to the Foreign Minister. Good evening, Mr. Ambassador.
Good evening to you, Taghreed.
Well, the Arab recognition, as we've seen, Mr. Ambassador, earlier in the day, of the president with the highest security measure and medal, this came alongside his strategic coordination with Iraq, and once again came asserting Egypt's success as essential pillar of Arab collective security.
Agreed. Yes, the declaration came in the right moment where Egypt has expressed total support to Arab security, and the president himself were in a war zone visiting all capitals able to be visited in the Gulf region. And today his unwavering support to Iraq and his full condemnation to the Iranian attack on our Gulf brother countries is essential to reflect on Egypt's strategic alliance with connecting the Gulf security with the Egyptian security and translate that into action. The President and Minister Badr Abdelati also visited the Gulf region and Jordan and assured Iraq today Egypt's unwavering support. That shows that when we talk about the collectivity of the Arab national security, we talk about one united front, as well as condemning Iran and calling for a ceasefire, and also to reply positively to all demands that has been submitted to Egypt from the Arab Gulf states. This is very important to reiterate, and I heard it personally from Minister Badr Abdelati, who assured that Egypt did not only render diplomatic and political support, but also material support to all the Gulf countries who requested Egypt support. So we're moving from a very important and high tone of support to the Gulf and to Iraq, to Jordan. And I hope, Tagreed, that if you may recall our continuous support to the idea of rebuilding after this war mechanism or a structure for peace and security, because as we agree, the Middle East is the only region in the world that doesn't have a structure for security and cooperation, similar to this of Europe. And we called, if you may recall, also for a declaration of principles that will be the structure of this mechanism, which has to be translated into a headquarters similar to the one in Brussels, where all activities in the Middle East will be governed by a secretariat, by a secretary general, by the collective support of the Arab states, who will all, with partners in the region, being Turkey or even Iran and Israel in a given moment, when Israel recognized the state of Palestine, and Iran to guarantee not to repeat attacking the Gulf states and to assure its position as a constructive party to the region, not an enemy who attacks the livelihood and also intervene in the political life of, at least for now, four Arab countries: Yemen, Lebanon, Iraq, among others, and also in Palestine. So we need Iran to recognize that, confined to its borders, respecting the coexistence and non-interference principles, that will allow it, maybe after the end of this war, to join the community of Arab and regional forces. And for Israel, the moment they recognize the state of Palestine, they will be eligible to join this structure. But this structure is not an alliance against one another. This is the geographical structure of the Middle East that has to be governed to lead to security by the collective will of its people, and with no discrimination in matters of security, as we've been witnessing over decades. The United States supports for the security structure that serves Israel alone.
Yes, definitely. I thank you so much, Your Excellency, Ambassador Dr. Mohamed Hegazy, for highlighting the story of the day and also Cairo's support for Gulf security, Arab coordination, and wider diplomatic push against regional chaos. And this has also been hitting headlines today as His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the call with the Iraqi Prime Minister, had strongly reinforced the core Egyptian principle, which is the rejection of any sort of violation against Arab sovereignty. I thank you so much, Ambassador Hegazy. And to redrawing alliances, how the new architecture of global power amid the Iran war is evolving. The coming report highlights this important idea, and we will be back shortly.
As the Iran war intensifies, the battlefield is no longer defined solely by missiles, retaliatory strikes, or maritime choke points. What is unfolding instead is a far more consequential transformation, the silent redrawing of global alliances. Europe now finds itself in one of its most delicate strategic positions in decades, torn between its Atlantic commitments, energy vulnerability, and domestic political pressure. European capitals are increasingly divided over how far to align with Washington's escalation logic versus preserving channels for diplomatic containment. France and other European voices have stressed that NATO's purpose remains the security of Europe rather than legitimizing open-ended military spillovers, revealing a deeper debate inside the continent over strategic autonomy. At the same time, Russia and China may be emerging as the quiet geopolitical beneficiaries of prolonged instability. For Moscow, every escalation that deepens Western strategic distraction potentially eases pressure on other theaters and expands its diplomatic maneuvering space. Beijing, meanwhile, sees in the crisis an opportunity to reinforce its role as an indispensable energy stakeholder, a stabilizing diplomatic actor, and a long-game architect of alternative power structures that challenge U.S.-led frameworks. The economic dimension is equally dramatic, with fears of oil surging beyond $200 per barrel. The war is rapidly reshaping the calculations of Europe's industries, Asia's supply chains, and the fiscal stability of emerging economies. Egypt has been among the clearest voices warning that the consequences extend well beyond the Gulf, touching food security, fertilizer exports, shipping, insurance, and global inflation. This is what makes the coming narratives compelling. The Iran war is no longer just a regional conflict. It is a live scene for the remaking of alliances, strategic dependence, and global influence. Who gains from prolonged uncertainty? Is Europe moving towards strategic independence or not? Are Russia and China merely observing events or actively shaping the world that emerges after them? Only the future events can reveal the reshaping of the international system in real time.